Errol, if you two were superheroes, who would you be? Who would Crawford be?
Superhero? Man, I'd probably be like probably like a Goku or something. yeah, I'd probably be like a Goku, and it'd probably be like a MAJIN BUU or something, or Batman or something.
Tell me what this fight means for your legacy, not only for being undisputed, but also being against Crawford.
This fight for my legacy, I mean, this is a legacy-defining fight. I feel like just us fight each other, and if this fight didn't happen, I mean, it probably been a dent on our legacy. So I feel like us just making this fight happen, it's already great for our legacy. I feel like this fight will go down as one of the best fights in a legacy fight, and one of those top wars where you see people showing highlights of Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, and showing them old school highlights. I feel like those are one of these fights where this fight be talked about 20, 30 years from now, just like how I was a kid in the amateurs watching old school fights. I feel like the next two generations, whatever, gonna go back and watch Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. Like, man, this is my favorite fight. Just go back and watch those fights, and people gonna be comparing fighters 10, 15, 20 years ago, just like how I'm comparing Ray Leonard 40-some years ago. People, the same thing's gonna happen with us. People still gonna compare Errol Spence and Terence Crawford to the next two generations.
Errol, with the addition of Anthony Joshua and Ryan Garcia in your gym, how has that impacted?
Now, he says that, styles make fights. What is it about you guys' styles that actually, makes or mesh for this fight?
I think mentality. His mentality, he want to kill. My mentality is I want to kill. So I think it's a great old school mentality type fight overall. But he's not gonna want to break. I'm definitely not gonna want to break. And I feel like when two fighters don't want to break, and somebody has to break, it's gonna be a great fight, old school fight, action-packed fight, and the fans definitely is gonna get their money worth come fight night.
Now, what fight do you think between two undefeated fighters at welterweight compares to this one that you can remember?
That I watched on YouTube?
I don't know. I mean, a welterweight fight is the one that I remember is, Oscar and Trinidad. That, of two undefeated fighters. I mean, there've been big fights at welterweight, but not undefeated.
Yeah, that was a huge fight, but it probably went below expectations a little bit, So, it wasn't all out war that people thought it was gonna be. So I compare this to Ray, Tommy Hearns. Two guys just going at it, trying to break each other's will, just trying to break each other by any means necessary. I feel like it's going to be one of those type fights where, people are going to talk about this fight, and get the chills, and 30, 40 years from now, people are going to talk about this fight just like how they talk about Ray and Tommy, and still go back and watch these fights. You're going to have little boxers, going to watch these fights. Dads, showing their sons these fights and be like, you see how he doing it, see how he doing that, and they're gonna go back and tune in and watch this fight. It's gonna be talked about for a long time, I think.
Now, before this fight, there was talks of you maybe going up to 154. Do you think that this might, be your last at 147, or you might go up to 154?
I'm gone. I'm running for the hills.
All right, thank you.
Hey, champ, you're always talking about legacy. And if this fight, let's say, who is the winner of this fight? Where is he trying in the welterweight division?
I don't know about that. I don't know where I rank. I'm not gonna, disrespect any of the older fighters.
Sure.
I pay homage to some of them. So I don't know where we rank, but we definitely gonna be there. We definitely gonna be, I think, top 5. Best welterweights in the world. We might be both best top 5 welterweights in the world. Even if he lose, it's still gonna win. It's still gonna be, a great fight where people gonna watch and see not only the fight, but they're gonna see the skill sets and the talents and the abilities and be like, man, that was a great fight. So, I don't know where we're gonna rank, but if we talk about the fight wise, I know we're gonna rank at the top, especially that all the great fights that happened this year. I feel like this is on paper right now. This is the best fight that's happened in a long time. I think probably since De La Hoya and Trinidad.
Appreciate you, champ.
This is a huge fight. How much of an impact will this fight make?
A huge impact. I feel like skill-wise, talent-wise, ability, both our mentalities. This is a great fight. We're both gonna put on a great show, and I'm gonna have a great performance. I'm gonna try to make it one side, but if not, I'm open to all-out war too. So this is gonna be huge, and it's gonna, I feel like, impact a lot of boxers, and they're gonna want this fight, and they're gonna clamor over this fight, and they're gonna want a fight like this of their own.
Now, you just said it right now yourself. This is a great fight on paper and card. A lot of mega fights and super fights haven't lived up to the hype. What are you going to do to actually make sure this one does live up to the hype?
I think it's going to live up to the hype. A lot of fights didn't live up to the hype, but they didn't have the same mentality. You can see in Terence Crawford fights that he has, and the mentality that I have in my fights, it's always action-packed. His fights are always action-packed, so I think people definitely gonna get their money's worth.
There's a lot of back and forth on Twitter, Instagram, social media, and all the time that you guys have been prior to this. Today up on stage, mutual respect. What led to that?
It's always been mutual respect. Even he was trying to say my side is the reason why this crap broke down, and I'm saying that his side is the reason why it broke down, but we finally got to the gist of it. We got on Facebook, we got on FaceTime, talked to each other, and it's just finally happening. So that mutual respect, I think, for both of us to drop our egos and our pride and get on FaceTime and chop it up with each other, talk to each other, and basically ask each other, how can we make this fight happen? That gives us a lot of mutual respect right there, just being able to talk to somebody, because if you ain't got respect for somebody or you don't really care for somebody, you ain't gonna be getting on there and talking to somebody, for especially how many times we talked on the phone.
As you said, this fight did break down prior to this date and everything. Do you feel this fight is happening at the right time?
It definitely happened at the right time. If it happened for 4 or 5 years from now, it wouldn't have been for Undisputed. It would have been probably for the WBO and the IBF. And, he wouldn't have had the wins against Sean Porter, Kell Bull. So it would have been, two great fighters fighting each other. And, that would have been it. But for me now, I feel like this is to see who's the best fighter in the world, not only in the welterweight division, but in the world, period.
I have the best question for you all the time. Wait 1 second. As an African-American woman who you support in all that you do, I want to make sure all our youth understand what you want to say to them about overcoming adversity and being a champ.
So I just want to tell them just to stay focused, man. Stay focused, stay hungry. Don't listen to the people that try to deter you. Your truth is your truth, and what you want to do, not everybody gonna see your vision.
Exactly,
you're gonna have people, telling you that do this or do that. But if you got a vision, they're not gonna believe in anything that you got until you become a little bit successful, or they see you peeking through the cracks, and then everybody want to jump on. But when you first getting started, your core people is your family and the people that's really, stuck by you. So I just want people just to stay focused, stay hungry, stay dedicated, keep believing in yourself.
And I love that about you, by the way. We saw that all over the monitor, the screen. That just oozes out of you. The self-confidence, the love of your people, and you just seem honorable.
Thank you. But just keep believing in yourself and your abilities, and it's all about you at the end of the day. It's not about what people say.
Right.
People are not gonna believe in you until you believe in yourself and your abilities. So just stay focused. I'm with y'all. I love y'all, man. Keep on the right path.
And make sure to tell everybody to follow me at My Chocolate Chip Chick so they can follow you.
Everybody, follow
Heather, My Chocolate Chip Chick. Yes. Bye. Thank you.